I'm Trish.
I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Carrie.
And this is the Kickbutt Talent Series.
Brought to you by the Sioux Film Festival.
Hi, I'm Trish. In this episode, I sit down with Hari Ramesh to discuss the world of post-production and his experience working as an editor. Enjoy! So tell people, who is Hari? I'm really trying to channel Oprah or Drew Barrymore or one of those TV hosts, so just bear with me.
So Hari is an online editor working in Rolling Pictures. Moved in from India about 4 years ago. Came here for college, and then I was like, I like the industry here, so I decided to stay. And I'm still here working.
I can't imagine that first winter, what that would have been like.
It was very cold, but I adapted really quick. I don't know. From back where I'm from, the south of India, it's pretty hot. And this was the other extreme. But I adapted well, surprisingly.
Definitely the other extreme. It's already snowing and it's November.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read my questions because I'm not good at memorizing. So what drew you to post-production, Hari?
Initially, it was just because I was not social enough. I just liked working in a room by myself, and it was less distractions, and it was great that way. But I did work on set for about 3 or 4 years initially. And the thing about set was you have to deal with a lot of people, and it's like it's a high stress environment. And there's also like different weather situations that you deal with, and there are just multiple challenges that go along the way. And
night shoots.
Yes, exactly. So post-production was just way easier in that regard. I just have to sit in my room and, do the work.
Cool. And now you're working at Rolling Pictures, where we are today, like you said, in the north. Can you tell us a bit about your exact position as an editor? When do you get the films? And at what stage do you jump in?
Okay, so the whole post-production process, as it works, I'll give a quick review. It's once the DP, the director of photography, is done shooting, he gives it to a dailies technician, who then transcodes the footage and gives it to the editor. We call, in the industry, in post-production specifically, he's called an offline editor, who sits with the director to edit the film. And once the director is happy and the director and the editor are happy, they have what is called a picture lock, after which they throw all the elements to me, which I'm called the online editor. And I take it from there forward to the packaging and deliverables of the final film.
Great. So you never have to deal with a director sitting over you in the room?
It depends. So there are some rare occasions where directors decide to change something after the picture lock.
Oh.
It could be any reason. Like they've seen it multiple times and they have a change of heart on certain scenes, or maybe like pressure from the producers, or maybe something, I don't know, anything could happen. And in that regard, directors can decide to add or shift something from the main picture lock. And that's when I can be sitting with the director and be changing what he needs.
Wow, is that technically really difficult once it's in picture lock to go back and then add in new footage or take away footage?
Not really. It does require a little bit of back and forth, but once you get used to it, working with multiple directors, it's just part of the job.
Very interesting. Can you describe the post-production process? I know you come in, like you just said, you come in once it's picture locked for the most part. So what does a day at Rolling Pictures look like for you typically?
So unlike what most people think, we're not working on one film at a time. It's usually multiple. So in a day, I could be working on 7 different films at most. So this can even include, these include like TV shows, feature films, or ads, or TV spots and stuff like that. So yeah, I forgot the question completely.
Do you dream about these films at nighttime? Because I can imagine you watching this footage all day and then going back and just dreaming about it all night.
No. So when I initially started into post-production, I was only into offline editing, which was more of a lot more creative. And so in offline editing, you're looking at the same footage about 300 times probably in a day. And you get so accustomed to it, it's just like I don't even think about it.
Once you go home, it's just...
No. Usually when I
sleep.
hit the bed, I go to bed immediately because I'm too tired.
Awesome. What is the editor's relationship, or what is your relationship with the director and with the producers?
Like I mentioned, the directors and producers usually come in during the final deliverable process. So once we're done the online edit, and once all the finessing is done, and once the mixers give all the final mix of the film and the color is done, the directors and producers have notes that they make, and they'll spot a few areas where there could be something wrong. And they make a detailed list of notes, and then we go through all those notes and we correct them. And then we keep making changes and deliverables until they're happy, and until the final film is made.
Wow. I can imagine that could be a big process. Do you ever experience a situation where you're dealing with, is it ultimately the director who makes a call, or is there instances where a director you're working with wants one thing, but then the producers chime in and they say, actually, we know he wants this or she wants this, but we want this?
Yes, it usually depends on, sometimes directors are producers as well. And I think it depends on who was invested more into it.
Money-wise or?
Sometimes money-wise, I believe so.
Or creatively?
It's mostly,
Like I guess whoever's production company it's under?
Yes,
whoever,
yeah. So
they have
we have had producers chime in a lot of times, and they have their creative inputs, which kind of change things. But I think ultimately it is the director's call, because that is literally their job to have most of the inputs, and is their name, so they have good control.
I can imagine sometimes you get big teams in film, and so many people, even though they're working on a team together, can have kind of different views. So a lot of working with people, or a lot of working in film is working with people and kind of juggling those.
Yeah, it's definitely
keeping
a
people happy.
Collaborative process. It's not one person doing everything. I think the director's main role is delegating tasks, because there's so many departments and they're all working on the same project at the same time. Especially when it comes to post-production, there's like mixers, colorists, online editors, VFX artists, all working at the same time to do, and we are constantly making changes and updating the film on a daily basis. So it's definitely a collaborative process, and it definitely takes a good director to keep everything in check and make sure it's going well.
Yeah. Someone with great communication skills.
Exactly.
And you're working with all those different types of editors in post. How long would it take for you, normally, when you get say a feature film, or in general for a feature film, how long does that really usually take? You've just mentioned other editors. How long does that process usually take?
I think that depends, again, on if the producer has had a set deadline. Sometimes directors can take their own time with their editors to try and perfect the film. I've heard it go up to sometimes 4 to 6 months with the director sitting with the editor. Just because if it's a bigger project, they don't want to risk anything. They want to make sure all the money they've invested is going to the right place.
Right.
And yes, so once the editor has done his process, the final online color and mix doesn't take as long, probably a month or two. We try and get everything out.
And you mentioned sometimes you're working on a movie, TV series, commercials. Commercial spots get out there pretty quick. So what's the editing process like for those?
Commercials, yeah, exactly like you said, they're really quick. Editors probably try and get it out in under a few weeks, a couple weeks. And the online for those are really quick because it's just if it's just a few seconds, if it's under a minute, the online, it should take less than an hour. And then the colorists and the mixers, they're pretty quick with it too. Like I said, it's just 30 seconds.
Wow.
So yeah, it's fairly quick.
Yeah, they seem very quick. Sometimes I audition for one and then turn on the TV a couple weeks later and I'm like, oh, I guess it went to someone else. It's already out there. There it is. It looks great.
Yeah.
What are some challenges about working in post-production?
It's post-production in general. It just mostly is just challenges. There are people on set. There's a commonly used phrase called "fix it in post."
Oh yes, that's a terrible phrase.
Yeah, so
people say it all the time.
It's the
on
most
film sets
horrific.
And then they laugh.
Yes, exactly. It's people should try and just fix it like
in the
on
moment.
set. Yes, in the moment rather than push it. But that's never the case. Every film has something wrong with it. That especially in online, when it comes to online editing, it's usually missing media. Like there's just a ton of media that's flying around, and when it comes to online, you're dealing with the raw media that was shot on set, and things can get lost and get clunky sometimes, and it's painful.
Yes, I like that one quote you said about how it's just all challenges.
Yes.
I think that's just all film.
Yeah,
in general.
yeah, that's
Lots
true.
of,
film in general.
Yeah,
like
but
on
then
set.
you're left to
Yeah,
put it all together. So
exactly.
That's even more challenging.
Yeah, like on set especially, there's never a day, I don't think, where everything goes right.
Yeah.
Like it's just, you just deal with it, and it's just...
It's about coming up with plan A, plan B. Okay, now let's try this.
Yeah, exactly. It's how you deal with it is what makes you a better director, I would think. And yeah.
How do you deal with stress when things get tricky or challenging?
I don't know. I'm used to loading myself with a lot of tasks, so it's just become a habit at this point. And I don't really require as much sleep, so that helps as well. I just have more hours in the day to get things done, so I don't worry about it that much.
Wow, lucky. I love my sleep. It becomes a challenge in this industry.
Yeah, for sure.
What has been one of your favorite projects to work on?
There hasn't been any one particular projects, but they have in recent times. One I can think of was called "Die in a Gunfight," and it was cool because I got to work with the director a lot on that one, and he did give me a little bit of creative input here and there, and
cool.
Which was cool. And it helped. It felt very collaborative, and it helped. Like I actually had some decent input to give in the film, and it made it to the final film. So it's great.
Very cool. And speaking of working with the director and having that input, I know that you yourself have directed, and does that help with the editing process?
Oh yeah. So the film I just mentioned, the director was also an editor, and I think this is very important because to tell a visual story, I think editing helps a lot. And good editors make fantastic directors because they know exactly what they want. They shoot exactly what they need, and anything else is just extra. And it's very helpful for the editor as well, because when there's a director who knows what he's doing, the work is just so much easier.
Right, you would get the footage that you need, whereas sometimes maybe for someone who's not as experienced as a director, maybe just starting out and they haven't done the editing process at all, they wouldn't necessarily know exactly what you're gonna need
usually sometimes there's like not enough coverage in a scene,
or
the angles weren't right, or there wasn't a satisfying enough take. And maybe because of time constraints, or maybe because the actor wasn't delivering the performance, or the director couldn't get the performance out of an actor. they just skim through it, and like I said, they just say fix it in post, and then
they get to post and don't have what they need.
exactly.
So speaking of that, what's something that you've had to either add in or take away? If you could think of something particular that you've had to do that was a bit of a challenge.
In online, it's very rare that something like that usually comes in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's nothing I can think of right now.
What if I did something and then, like, if I shoot something and then I say, hey, Hari, can you actually give me blonde hair? I feel like I wish I was a blonde in that film. Would you be able to do that?
I can't think of one thing that recently came up. So am I allowed to drop names of shows? I think that's probably not. Okay. So there was a show, there was a TV show that I worked on, and it was like a comedy TV show.
Okay.
And so they were just recycling some of the shots they used from a few years ago, like probably 5 years ago.
Oh.
And so it was this one bit where these actors were holding up like cards, and they had like funny stuff written on it. And the camera pans, and this one actress is holding up a card, and it had "Me Too" written on it, and it was supposed to be funny for that bit.
Oh, but they weren't referring to the Me Too.
Yeah, no, it was not referring to that at all.
At all, because
and so they had to, when they bought that shot, and they had to VFX it and change it to something else.
Right, and she was just saying.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, exactly.
But now it has a different meaning.
Yeah.
I was thinking that earlier when you were talking about sometimes when something is picture locked, you have to go back and take something out because of things that are going on in the world around us.
Yeah.
I know I was pitching something at one point, and it had a shooting in it, and then a shooting had happened in a school or at a concert around the same time we were developing the show. So then at the next meeting, the network said, we have to take that out. Yeah. So it's that sort of thing. But I can imagine if you already shot something and then it was in your film, but something happened.
Yes.
Like something sensitive and something that you might not want in your film.
It does happen, yeah. It happens occasionally, but when we do catch it, it's it does happen. It is a little bit challenging. Mm-hmm. But now we do have VFX artists who are great and pretty much can do practically anything and putting things in or out. So, yeah.
Very cool. Hari, what would you say to aspiring editors?
There's not a ton of advice that I can give that hasn't already been said. It's the most cliche advice is keep working hard, because there's someone who's always putting in a few extra hours and they're getting ahead. And it's more practice and more time that you put into it that makes anything better. It's general advice, really. Mm-hmm. And it works great.
Awesome advice for anyone in any area of
pretty
film
much.
Or any
skill. Yeah.
That's really great advice. And how did you get to where you are? If you could sum it up really quickly, if someone wanted to be an editor, how would they get to where Hari is today?
This would be terrible advice, but fake it till you make it is a real thing. Mm-hmm. If you're really confident in your abilities and you speak well about it, and you don't push yourself down, you know your worth, mm-hmm. And you try and explain to people, and you somehow make it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that could work for anyone.
Exactly.
As well.
Yeah.
That's great
but
advice.
You need to believe in your own skill, or else if you're just lying about it, someone's going to catch. Someone's going to catch you. And,
so you need to kind of fake it.
Yeah.
But also do the work.
Exactly.
To learn as you go.
Yeah.
And not completely fake it.
Yes. I mean, the thing is, there's a catch-22 situation where people are looking for editors, but editors, especially new editors with experience, and once you're out of college, you don't have any experience. Mm-hmm. And you have to get that experience from somewhere.
Right.
And so that's one of those situations where you really have to fake it till you make it.
Mm-hmm. Be confident.
Yeah.
Know your worth, and get the gig, and just work hard.
Exactly.
Exactly. All right. Well, thanks for having me here at Rolling Pictures in Sault Ste. Marie. It's beautiful, and I appreciate you dealing with my interviewing skills.
No worries. Thank you for
I still
coming
have
here.
a little ways to go with that.
No, that's good.
I mean,
yeah,
you can fake it till I make it. Watch
Yeah.
out, Oprah.
You got this.
Thanks for listening. Follow us at Sioux Film Festival on the social medias.